I have a real deep appreciation for the journey that I've been on because of how I became a coach in the NBA. You know, Mike Brown obviously gave me an opportunity.
My guy.
I wasn't a dude that was, had a long NBA career. I mean, I had a long basketball career,
Right.
played overseas, but I've always had this thing of, for me personally, man, I want to compete to win. It's in me. And, it doesn't always work out like that. Everybody
Right.
does. But when I got to the Lakers, again, I was obviously at the end of Kobe's career going into it. We had our struggles with that team. But when I went to Cleveland, Mike got fired, and he asked me to come to Cleveland. One of the things he said to me was, one, we want you to mentor Kyrie. Two, that there's a chance that LeBron might come back to Cleveland. Who knows? So I went to Cleveland my first year. We were terrible, dog shit. We just young team trying to figure it out. And then Bron came back the next year, and we went through that season, ups and downs. K Love was getting in already, whole career, and we ended up making to the finals. Once we got there, for me, man, like walking into Oracle, going back home. I'm from the Bay.
That's the
So
crib.
that first opportunity was just like, man, this is crazy. And when we got there, all I kept saying to myself was, man, there's nothing else. There's no other feeling that you want. Now, look, it's not guaranteed, but I've always wanted to put myself in a position where every year I want to be part of a team that's trying to compete for a championship.
Right.
That's my mindset.
Competitor in you.
Man, and people, some people say you're ring chasing. Well, you call it whatever you want. I want to win.
Right.
I'm not in this for money or whatever. I'm a purist to the game of basketball. So what opportunities can I put myself in to where we can compete for a championship? And went through that run in Cleveland. Kind of like went through a spell where my time in Cleveland kind of came to an end. I was there for 5 years, and then it was like, what's next? So I knew Bron was leaving out of the East. And Toronto had been a team that we had been competing against, for years in the playoffs. And I always kind of felt like the only reason why they couldn't make that hump was because Bron was just
Right.
every year they had to run into him at some point in our teams. So when the whole thing shifted, I played for Nick Nurse in Europe.
Oh, okay.
So Nick became the head coach. And I looked at Toronto and said, man, they have a team that can compete. And this was before Kawhi. I looked at DeMar. I loved his game. I loved Kyle Lowry. I loved some of the young players that they had. And I said, man, shoot, the East is wide open. There's a chance there. So when that opportunity presented itself, I said, hey, I'm going to Toronto. Nick wanted me on his staff. Man, 2 days after I signed my contract and agreed to terms, I woke up, ESPN, Toronto Raptors have traded DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. Bro, I was like, come on, man. Nah, like you said, man, I'm like, come on, man. Again, just utmost respect for DeMar because he's a hooper.
Competitor, right?
And I didn't know Kawhi, but when he came to Toronto and saw that he was healthy, I was like, look, man, we got a real chance, bro. You have a real chance. And so that year went the way it went. I have a 7-year-old son, lives here in L.A. Me and Bron always kept in touch, so it worked out for me to come back to L.A. and we go back to the finals again. I couldn't write this story.
You're right. It's been crazy.
The only thing I can do is, one, be grateful, because like you said, it's not guaranteed. I have a lot of respect for a lot of coaches that have coached in the league for 30 years. Some have never been to the finals. Some have never been to a conference finals. So I don't look at this journey and say it's been a cakewalk. I'm just looking at it saying, man, I keep my head down every day, keep grinding, keep working, and just try to put yourself in the best position possible.
That's all you can do.